Hi and welcome to another episode of Top Volts, and today we're going to be looking at this Panther, Scalextric Panther C6, first released in 1968 in their 9th edition catalogue. It's another lovely car. It's well put together. It runs the sled engine, which I do really like. It's an all-in-one piece rear axle, motor and guide, with an adjustable front. So these do work in both cars. Well, several cars actually run the sled engine. So you can really just adjust that guide to where you want it to be, just to get that sort of dialed in where you want it. You've got a little bit of adjustment up the fronts here. This one's actually in quite clean condition. Maybe a little bit of a clean up. The detail's quite nice as well. I like the little suspension back, where you've got like a little motor on the back here with the exhaust. So it's a nice little put together piece, really. The guides look to be in good condition, maybe a little loose, which we can just tighten up this nut here, because they make connection on these two brass tabs up the top here. So as it turns, you can see on the side there, it just makes connection from the braid to this brass tab. So we can just tighten that one back up a little bit. I would say the brush connection point here on the spine of the motor, that could do it just a light clean, really. So we'll probably just clean just in there. We won't take the brushes out. Just a very light clean, and it's feeling a little bit stiff, so maybe a little bit of oil at these 2 points as well. So I think first things first, we'll tighten up this guide. So we just turn this around and just place that there. So what we want to do is just, if you just take hold of the guide, place your screwdriver, your socket on there, and just give it just a couple of light turns. And you want to feel very light friction like that. That's very light friction. That's perfect. Okay, so we will just clean the connection point on the spine where the brushes make contact with the motor. We'll just give that a light clean. Just use a very small bit of alcohol with a cotton bud. Just a tiny drop on the end of the cotton bud. And what I like to do is just place the cotton bud just on there, and just give the motor just a light turn, and this will just take off any sort of loose carbon from the brushes that's on there. It's just a good routine clean, really. I think you can see it's already come up very nice and clean. You can see it always removes a fair amount. And just one more turn on that. Perfect. And then we just place a tiny bit of oil. Because what you have in both locations, just where the spine of the motor just passes through, there's like a felted area here to absorb the oil, and there's another one inside there. So what I tend to like to do is just place it just on the spine, like the center sort of shaft, you could say. Just a tiny drop. Doesn't need a lot at all, just a tiny drop. And again, just at the front there, being careful not to put it on the contacts. And that should then pass in. Yeah, already that feels much neater. Yeah, that's far smoother. That's perfect. Okay, So I guess we'll run this up and just make sure the motor's operating as it should. Okay, so we'll just run this up. We'll start the volts low. Let's just switch this on. And then we'll slowly build the volts as we go. Just allow that to run in just for a moment. And I'll slowly increase the volts. That's perfect. Well, thank you for watching my video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any information you would like to pass on, information, details, or even some helpful tips for these cars, it's always welcome. Please leave it just in the comments section. I'll try my best to get back to you, but it's always helpful for myself and others. Well, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.